Yo, what's up? I'm Eldritch and welcome back to my channel where I like to talk about all things spooky, scary, and have a little bit of fun. Today on the channel, we're going to be trying out something a little bit different. You see, a few years ago, some friends and I had a YouTube channel where we liked to make some horror movie reviews while we were a little bit sauced up. And I thought that that was a lot of fun, but it didn't really get a lot of traction back then, so I thought maybe I'd bring it over to my channel to get it tried out. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about The Color Out of Space, an insane cosmic horror tale starring Nicolas Cage. Yes, Nick Cage has been at the forefront of a lot of really crazy horror movies the last few years, and I love them all, honestly. Keep them coming, keep them coming. But this one is one that is particularly ridiculous, but I don't want to spoil too much for you guys. So if you're down for a horror movie explained video today on a Nick Cage instant classic by a couple of sauced up goofballs, then strap yourself in, because I got one for you today. So the last time I tried to upload a video like this to the channel, it had a little bit of problem reaching my subs, and I think that that may have been because it was egregiously littered with profanity. So this time around, I painstakingly took the time to edit all of that out, and I hope that that doesn't detract too much from the video. Maybe it'll even add a little bit in, because it's actually hilarious how little these guys can keep a sentence without cussing in it. Now, without further ado, let me pass it off to Eli and Todd.
Yo, I'm Elias Freeze.
This is Rude Boy Todd.
And we're gonna be talking about Color from Outer Space.
Color from Outer Space.
Yeah.
The Color Out of Space.
Color Out of Space.
Color Out of Space. God. Alright, this is a Nicolas Cage movie.
Nicolas Cage acting all the way the fuck up as like a grown ass man dad going through a middle age crisis.
Where it's like some cosmic horror, H.P. Lovecraft type shit. You know?
And it's some H.P. Lovecraft shit.
Yeah, it's H.P. Lovecraft. It's got
cosmic horror.
Booty Man Adventures Escape from Booty Man Part 2. Alright, so they're like, you go into this shit, bro, and it's just like this girl standing around a circle of rocks with her hands out and shit, doing some weird
Nature
like, yeah, nature like doing like some type of like ritual, and like, you know what I'm saying, like talking about some old let's get out of here or some bullshit like that. Some dude had walk up, you know what I'm saying, he looked like a straight frat boy, ugly as hell, hairline probably about to recede in a couple years, but it's, you know what I'm saying, walk up with just start talking about, oh, blah blah blah, you talking about witchcraft and shit. She's like, oh, wouldn't you like to know? Shit cuts to I don't know what it cuts to, and then it goes like to the part Nicolas Cage sitting on the god or whatever, and then like the Teresa comes into frame, like the mother or whatever, starts like bitching about her being out, like, oh, where the fuck were you? You had her worried. And then she was just like, oh, bye, you should have told us. And then she would just like random rebuttal, like, well, that's why your son's smoking weed. You're just like,
it's like, what the fuck is going on right now?
With anything, bro? I don't really know what Benny was doing. What Benny his name?
I think it's really just like, it was just showing like what some rural family out in like Northern America going through, I guess. They're having a family dinner and shit.
Nick Cage, Nathan, stupid dumbass, thought that you could eat alpacas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what the fuck was he on,
He spent like 30 bands on alpacas talking about, oh, the meat of the future.
He didn't understand what the fuck alpacas are really used for, you know?
Yeah, nah.
And his daughter G-checked him on it. Like, his daughter G-checked him on it, bro.
He said, bro, you don't know nothing about Packers, son. Get the fuck out of here, boy. What are you talking about? And then he was just like, well, actually, did you know that they're the meat of the future? She's like, oh, stupid. Bro, I could be walking around this bitch in a mink right now, you know what I'm saying? Be like, you know, Pusha T said my niece was poor when she felt chinchilla. My niece was poor when she felt alpaca, son. You already know. And then, so, like, they start, the coochie scene, bro. Like,
the coochie scene.
Nick Cage start being on some shit where he's like, oh, wow, I love you, you're still beautiful. She said, like, you'll always be my golden girl or whatever. And then he was just like, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, stop it, you know I'm ugly. Stop saying that.
She was upset because she had cancer and she had to have her breast.
It was cancer?
It was cancer?
She ain't had no titties the whole time?
She was self-conscious about the fact that she wasn't.
Alright, well, she ain't had no titties the whole movie. And you know what I'm saying? So she's like, oh, you always have titties. And mama cuts to the scene after, like, you know, everyone was going to sleep. Jack was in his bed looking weird as hell, though. His eyes all
you looking at a pterodactyl hanging off the ceiling.
You know what I'm saying? It like kind of like had the vibe that some shit was finna go off. And then while like,
remind me of the Signs. You remember the Signs? Like that weird film with the kids? Yeah, it was like out of the Signs.
And then the coochie session started, bro, where Nick Cage he was like all in the bed, you know, trying to get. She said that she ain't threw him no in 6 months, bro. Crazy as shit. But like now, you know what I'm saying? So like pretty much they flashing ass light comes out the shit, bro. Looks all fucking, you know, that's like some like magenta ass cut, but like it's supposed to be on some shit that you ain't never seen before. Like that's some outer space type bullshit, you know what I mean? So like, oh yeah, and the dog came up and it had like the snarling.
Yeah, he was snarling and he started getting a weird feeling about the shit, so he was like trying to go to his parents' room, but they were getting the coochie, right?
Yeah.
So he came out to the hallway and he saw the dog and the dog started snarling at him and he started being like, this shit got weird, and we don't really know like exactly what happened during that scene because it cut.
Oh yeah, and then like after
he saw some shit.
Yeah, there was like the meteor out and shit, and they had the Meyer come down for some fucking reason.
You started seeing like flowers growing out of the ground that were like purple.
And that was
like,
way back. That was way back when they saw that we were like purple, like purple.
Just
thing.
over time, you started seeing you started seeing transition.
They were just like, oh, blah blah blah, like it's like a meteorite, and he was like, a meteorite, like he'd never heard of a meteorite before, and like the son studying to be in NASA or something. So he like, you know what I'm saying?
No,
he should already know what
it was the older son that was smoking weed.
Yeah,
I think they referenced that he was into like NASA shit.
Yeah, and then they meet they talk about Tommy Chong's character, wasn't it Ezra?
Ezra, yeah.
Yeah, and then he's just like talking about some weird shit.
He said the birds communicated with me and something's not right.
He did talking say to that. Birds and shit.
He was talking to nature, and nature was like, yo, something's not right.
And then like Ward's like walking around like the forest and shit. And then he like has his like flashlight out or whatever, and he's like looking through, and then like some weird like aura like passes by on like some like fast cut scene or whatever, and then it like
it was like a shadow person almost. It was weird, and then it turned into like an whole aura.
Yeah, and then like he like looked back at it, and then he like got freaked out by it and like backed up a little bit, and then the car turned on, bro.
And the car it started revving and
yeah, that shit was like somebody was in the bro. Dale Earnhardt possessed that bitch. It was just like turn me.
And then he flashed his light in that. Nobody was in there, bro. Nobody was in that bitch.
Tweaking, bro.
And then what happened is they were just having like a moment, like a family moment, like any ordinary family. And they were still in the living room while the mom was like cooking dinner and shit. They were all like getting interviewed by the like, you know, the media and shit.
Oh yeah, Nick Cage was getting all pissed off because his hair was all
yeah, his hair was all
Nathan, yeah. I'll call it a UFO or whatever.
Yeah, she thought it was like some weird she just didn't really like, she obviously didn't have a grasp on it because she had like some political view on it.
They were just going on about that interview or whatever. He was just like all pissed about it. And he was like saying some weird, I forgot what quote he said, but he like said some old dumb.
It was obviously like coming from like a dad standpoint, like that man didn't know what the
first of all, Nick Cage always just played that clueless dad perfectly, bro.
Even when he's not playing that dad, he's playing that clueless dad, bro.
He was like, bro, what actually
I don't know what's going on, bro. Like,
it was there the entire time.
It was having like some tense fucking like camera.
Yeah, that camera work was like crazy though.
It made me anxious as fuck.
It really did, bro. I was just like, bro, but I instantly, you know, I called that shit. I knew she was finna cut her finger off.
Yeah, you did call that.
Chopped her whole finger off.
Yeah,
bro.
She chopped her finger off, cutting the
both fingers.
Both fingers.
Two of them.
These two motherfuckers right here,
right
bro.
Here, baby. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so she like washing the dishes tweaking, and shit, bro, cause
shining levels type of tweaking.
Yeah, because like cut her fingers off, so like the knife was still there, the carriage was still there.
She was traumatized.
So, yeah, it started off like the blood was on her feet, and then you look up the whole sink like covered in that. Old boy tried to go get coochie from their daughter or whatever. What was her name? Leviathan.
Yeah, Lavinia.
Lavinia.
Yeah, Lavinia.
Yeah, and then
he was like, yeah, you know, I'm a hydrocologist. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we go examine this. You know, elements and you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like that's what he did, and they were trying to examine it like it was some scientific shit. Little they know though, this is about to turn into some crazy shit.
Yeah. Fucking Warwick just like, okay. So he walks away. Jack's over there standing by the well or whatever. And then he was just like laughing and talking and shit. And then the kid was like, War looked all like freaked
It was some
out.
demon possession type.
Bro, look like got an omen type shit. And then like, and like he looked at him. He was just like, who are you talking to? He's like, I'm talking to my friends. He was like out here like Millie rocking with Booty Mane. You know what I'm saying? Be like, hey, that's my boy. Hey, he was like laughing at him.
Yeah.
They went to Ezra crib. Yeah, they went back to Ezra crib, and like they like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, hey yo, Ezra, what's good? Blah blah blah. Knocking on the door. Bro, weird as hell. Have face paint on. Just acting all crazy.
He had like fucking like Native American paint on and like war paint.
Yeah, for real.
Like, it was
all
looking.
weird. Talk about like it's the aliens, man. They're like underneath us. You can't hear them, dude. They're here, bro. Like it's in the. You've been testing the water, man. They're in here, man. Yeah, and then yeah, so like apparently, you know, G-Spot was missing, old kitty or whatever. So like Nick and well, Nathan and Teresa going back to the crib and shit. And they're like talking, oh blah blah blah. We haven't been able to talk to them. I hope our like kids are okay and shit. Blah say blah. And then like G-Spot comes up in the frame, bro. It's just like, you know, like a jump scare type.
Yeah, that.
And then it was but it was like some like crazy alien looking version. Like her like aura was still like magenta and, you know what
And I'm not gonna lie, like it wasn't like a traditional jump scare either. Like it wasn't. It was
kind of
actually
like
a pretty decent jump
rolling
scare.
shot kind of. It was just like
It came in with like the silhouette of her like on the cat stance with like the arched back.
Yeah,
and then you saw her fucking face all fucked up and then it came into their shot.
Like,
it was cool.
Dude,
it was cool. I'd actually say for once that was one of the jump scares that I could say like in a modern movie that actually pulled off.
Hell, dude.
It was good.
Was like,
that was a good jump scare. Like I don't fuck with jump scares like that. I think they're really corny and I think they're really badly implemented in a lot of horror movies nowadays.
Yeah,
but that jump scare was fucking good. That jump scare was good, and I can give them a thumbs up
baby.
to
it was, yeah, I'll give that a thumbs up. And then they pretty much got back to the fucking crib after all that shit happened. They were just like, yo, why the fuck haven't you talked to us? We haven't heard from you in goddamn 28 whatever how many hours. And they were just like, well, every time I tried to talk to you, I couldn't hear you. And yeah, when they were gone,
and he was confused, and they were like, why?
He was like, like you're supposed to put the alpacas up. Yeah,
the daughter was like, stop smoking so much weed.
Yeah, you're like, you high as
like, I'm not.
He's like, bro, I literally put the alpacas back. It's like they were living on like different frames of time type. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and the alpacas were still out. Right when he got back, he was like, oh, I told you to put the alpacas back and shit. And then, like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, time would just, like, warp differently and shit. So, like, it was just, like, odd or whatever.
The next day is when everything started picking the fuck up. Like, so Nicolas Cage was in the shower and he had, like, some weird jellyfish. Like,
looking
at like weird clear thing come through the drain.
Yeah, he started noticing he had a rash too on his arm.
I think, yeah. Even before the shit popped up, he was like getting a weird feeling from the water. Like the water was fucking with him a little bit.
After he had got out the shower, he was like freaking out. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was just like acting like his dad, like being like super bipolar. And just like acting like on like some weird shit, you know what I'm saying, being like super abusive, like, you know, just like talking like his kids and shit like that.
Yeah, it was just weird.
And then it like cut up to old girl in her room, right?
She started like being on some like Tumblr Hawthorne heights.
Yeah, just like doing the
started cutting herself.
She went hella deep in that ritual though. Like she like started like actually like scarification her whole body.
Yeah, dude, like she took a
her blood drip on
like
the
a construction site.
After that, like she started like popping off for real. Yeah, that's when he went out to go check on the alpacas. Benny did, and then it was like that weird like thing.
It was like some thing. Yeah,
like
it was like
all the
thing.
alpacas were like morphed together, trying to like.
And you could barely see like what it really was. It was just like weird camera angles that were like getting like cut together. And
yeah, and then like, you know, so they ran away. Mama had came outside. She was tweaking on the whatever, and then the kid ran up and she like hugged the kid. And as soon as she hugged the kid, after like the shed was still open, they like saw the alpacas, I guess, and that's when they got struck by lightning. And then they like had like gotten like all like morphed together or whatever, and like to that like one like being, and they're like literally like morphed together, like just,
Yeah.
like, the kid,
They were
like
fucked up.
the kid is like less existent than like
Coming out of her back. They were on the couch and they were like trying to like understand what the fuck was going on. And like the brother was sitting there. He was like looking on the couch and he was just like, I don't like, he was like obviously fucked up over it. And then they brought her upstairs to the attic.
It was like that,
it almost reminded me of the scene from Witch.
Yeah.
When they brought the son to the attic and they were all just sitting up there having a family moment.
After like bro has like locked her up in the attic and he like starts like having a tweaking moment.
He's like, he basically tells them like, I gotta go do some shit. I gotta go do some shit real quick. And they're like, all right. So they go out he goes out to the shed and just like one by one just blowing the heads off this thing. Like
that was actually when the first reveal of like the full alpaca.
Yeah, that was
and it was
crazy.
like kind of like Omni type.
And once again, going back to the thing, it was a straight reference to the thing. The way it looked.
Had to be at least.
Yeah, he was losing it with the blood all over his face, just snapping inside the garage.
And then like skips to the next day. Ward went and like he was just out.
He's at the courthouse or whatever, and they're like, he's calling him in, and he's like, there's some judge or something snapping about the water or something, just like not even realizing what the fuck's really going on.
And they were just like, hey man, come look at this. Like, hey water guy, come over here, look at these dead bodies we just found, dude. Yeah, so like afterwards, like Nick pretty much like still like kind of like harassing his daughters and shit. His daughter and like Benny or whatever, and then he was like they had that whole scene where they were like talking about like he was like, oh blah blah blah, I'm like, I'm gonna shoot her just like I did the alpaca. He's like losing his shit, freaking out. And, like the daughter was like not okay with it, so like you know what I mean, like they're just like, oh whatever, blah blah blah, like I don't think that you should do that shit. He was like, no, fuck that or whatever. So like, and then like a little bit transpired after them arguing. He like got like the the light above his head. It was just like, I'm gonna feed my daughter to her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the daughter and the brother had went outside to the well because they were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because like Jack was like talking about the man.
Yeah, they were all weird. Yeah,
like,
the booty man.
They were trying to look for Booty Man.
They went down to go look for Booty Man. And he went too deep into the Booty Man, and the Booty Man consumed his. You know what I'm saying?
Man swallowed the booty. You know what I'm saying?
It swallowed his.
Clapped his whole cheeks
and
up.
she didn't know how to handle that. And then at that point, she was like freaking out, and the father came out and
he was like,
grasped her gut.
yeah, because he was like real irritated. Yeah, and then she was like, "Oh, I promise, I'll do anything." And then
he was like, "Family stick
was like,
together,
she was
so
like,
you need to go in there and feed
she
your
was
mom."
like, "I'll clean up my language." Like that's the best thing you got. See, your dad about to throw you into some fucking room with some xenomorphic crazy like mom son type fucking demon thing or whatever, crazy alien jank. And the best thing you could do to convince your dad not to throw you in that just be like, I'm not gonna cuss no more.
She gets shoved in there. She starts crying at the door.
Yeah, that's when
she's
you like
just
actually
freaking
like
the fuck out.
see what she looks like, and cuts to Ward and the sheriff coming up to the house, and that's where Nick Cage is just like acting all crazy, and it's like, hey, where's your family at? And he's just like, oh, what do you mean, where's my family at? Like blah blah blah. There's like, we just came to check on you. And he's like, yeah, well, everything's fine. There's like, all right, so where's your family? Like points over like behind like where the couch is, and there's like no one there. The daughter start like screaming, so the sheriff and Ward come in, and then the door is like chain locked together, and so like he like bashes it open. Then when you see Teresa try to
She's
like
necromorphing
and she necromorphed out, and she tries to like eat the daughter, and then that's when you think the sheriff popped her in the shit, but it wasn't the sheriff. It was actually Nicolas Cage.
the daddy. Her in the shit.
And then it blew like that magenta covered blood.
It blew the mother's face off, but the kid was still kind of alive. The body was still alive. It was
so, like,
weird.
and then
And
like
the kid
Nick,
was just sitting there like f***ed up, and then Nick went up to it and like struggled for a little bit, and then like executed his son basically.
and then like Ward had no idea what the was going on at this point. He was like, yo, listen man, I just water, bro. I don't know, none of this crazy shit. When they all run out, he like has like the gun pointed at him, but it actually wasn't pointing at the daughter.
Yeah, the dad was
because
pointing at the light.
Yeah, there was a light that came
The
in front
void.
of him. Yeah,
The void. He was pointing his gun at the void, and the fucking sheriff was like, oh shit.
Popped him in
And
the back.
he
So
popped
she
him in
shot
the
him, and then
chest and
that's when she was like, yo, I'm staying here, I'm not leaving. And then they brought up the fact that they should go check on Ezra. And then when they go to Ezra, there's like this weird old tape player playing, talking about some, like, it's in the water, it's like, it's spreading, like, but it's just like kind of rambling. But it's like, oh, this is like explaining about the aliens or whatever. So
what was happening to the
yeah.
environment.
And then like it zooms in on his face.
He's like
then,
like Draugr from Skyrim.
Yeah, whole like blacked out or whatever, and then like the magenta starts like peeling his entire face.
It was like a
back.
rune. It was like a pink rune, and it started coming
whole
out forehead.
When they left, they like ran out that bitch, and then it cut to that scene of them just walking. So it's like they had like a budget cut or some shit, and then it was like that ugly.
It was like a tree branch came up and yeeted his out of the
but
camera.
That was like real like poorly done.
It was badly done.
But whatever, sheriff dead, he gone. You know, Booty Man got his so like, you know what I'm saying, got clapped up. They go back to the house. The daughter's standing outside. They have like this weird like stare down type where she's like, you know, her eyes turn like a bright pink color. His eyes start turning that, and then it goes into that.
He saw the void. He saw the
like
void.
watched the void and like backed out. And then like he was still tweaking. He went inside the crib and they were all sitting on the couch like together. They were all alive and shit. And then like, yeah, that's where like that really crazy visual thing happened and everything started pulsating like shit. Also spent like so much goddamn money on that one because that shit, because I was on Dragon Ball.
Yeah, it was
Z.
like a
like in Dragon Ball
tornado,
Super,
like
yeah, bro.
tornado
You know,
type.
Goku rode on with the key blast, Kamehameha blew that. Like how crazy that animation
Yeah, it was
like
crazy.
up there with that. Shit. Like that. Shit was
Once
wild.
again, going back to the poorly edited scene, that they probably budget cut the fuck out of that tree eating the sheriff up just for that scene because
yeah, for
like,
real. Insane. It was absolutely beautiful. And then it cut to a white screen, and then what's his name? Ward? Yeah, the waterman, water boy, Adam Sandler, was like just covered in like, you know what I'm saying, soot and shit. And pretty much it was like the alien presence just like completely like dispersed itself for like the whole thing or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying, which is like gone. And then it just cuts to like him walking off. He's on the dam. He's talking about, oh, blah, say, blah, like this like exists and it's gonna exist and it's gonna spread. And he's like pretty much just trying to recollect on everything, and then he just kind of steps off the dam.
yeah. You could tell he was traumatized. Like,
yeah,
that man probably didn't go to college anymore. That man probably dropped out of everything he did in life. Like, he was just, like, done.
Yeah,
you know
he definitely had non-flashbacks at the end.
Like, he was... Overall thoughts of the movie?
It was alright. It
I
was
think
a good movie.
7 out of 10.
I give it a lenient 7. Like, you know what I'm saying? Solid movie. Great time, fun watch. You know what I'm saying? Well, I definitely liked all the the visuals in it. The visual
audio
awesome.
Too. Audio was nuts.
Sick. Overall, besides the sheriff getting yoinked up, beautiful visuals.
A lot of good references to classic
good
horror.
references. Yeah, good idea behind it. Like I said, I feel like the dialogue with like Nicolas Cage definitely fumbled a bunch of the parts because like when he like would like hop between being super like aggressive and then kind of come down, it was just kind of goofy. You know what I'm saying? He was
and
just,
it it was almost bipolar, but not realistically bipolar. Like it was just all over the place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he kind of just like seemed like he was really pushing himself to be like that goofy dad. You couldn't really see anything but that goofy dad impression, even when he was like, "F you, blah blah blah, we're part of the family."
And he was like popping the fucking alpacas.
Yeah, he was
still
just
couldn't.
and he was just like, "Okay, I love you. Everything's fine, baby. It's all about fucking blah blah." It was just like kind of all over the place, and the dialogue was just like very congested. But like besides that, everything was cool.
Drink some beer with it. It's a good time. 7 out of 10. Just chill with your boys. Drink some alcohol. Do it. It's a good time.
It's Elias Freeze.
Rude Boy Todd. We here reviewing.
See you next time.
See you next time.
So that was The Color Out of Space. What'd you think about that? Yeah, I thought this movie was pretty insane. Nick Cage is going all out here doing his thing, and I love all the references to the thing that they got going on throughout the film. But what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. And what's your favorite Nicolas Cage movie, horror or not? I know a lot of people really loved him in Mandy. That film is great, but this one just holds a special place in my heart. Also, let me know in the comments down below how you felt about the format today. If you enjoyed it, then I'll make some more of these, and next time I'll join them on the couch. But as always, I've been Eldritch Terror. If you like my video today, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content just like this. And if you have a friend you think might enjoy it too, be sure to send it their way. Whether your day's been going good or bad today, I hope it gets better.